Harold Kaija'S. I am the Deputy Secretary General of the FDC. I am aspiring to become one of the MPs of the East African Legislative Assembly. So if you give me the mantle to go and speak for our people, I'll make sure that I sell my agenda to other colleagues from other countries and see how we have an East Africa that benefits our people. So that if there is a referendum about East Africa, the people vote overwhelmingly to support the existence of the East African community. I want to say thank you. Asante sana. Mwebale nnyo. Hello, comrades, friends, fellow Ugandans, members of Parliament, of the 11th Parliament. First of all, I want to congratulate you for having been able to win slots to become members of Parliament of Uganda. It is a huge honor for one to be voted. As you are aware, you know the hassle to become one. Many have tried, including some of us, to enter that house. So find yourself, look at yourself as a very special person to be a member of that house. My name is Harold Kaija'S. I am the Deputy Secretary General of the FDC. I am aspiring to become one of the MPs of the East African Legislative Assembly. I come from the FDC, Forum for Democratic Change. I am contesting, I'm here to present myself before you. I am a teacher by profession, where I have a diploma in education. I have a bachelor's of management science from Chamberlain University. I have a bachelor's of arts in economics. I have a master's in business administration, specializing in finance from Makerere. I also have a master's of arts in economic policy management, again from Makerere. That's my academic qualification. As I told you, I am a leader of the FDC with a vast experience in education, management, policy analysis, and politics as an activist. I've been in the struggle for the last 20 years, advocating for social, economic, and political justice. I am a person who is interested in economic justice and climate change. Those are two cardinal aspirations that I always want to advocate for. Fellow colleagues, 23 years ago, in 1999, the leaders of East Africa decided to sit and bring back the East African community, which had collapsed more than 20 years ago. These were Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. And the aim as to which they wanted to bring back the East African community were the benefits of countries working together, of countries removing boundaries that were limiting their people. Because having an East African community would actually enlarge the market that we hope to invite investors and also help the people in East Africa to become creative, as knowing that we have a huge market. We have many resources, including oil, now that we have in Uganda. Now would be all of us will be accessing the coast that would stop Uganda to be defined as a landlocked country. Would tap into the human resource, those of good engineers, good doctors, tap into the education, tap into the monies we have. That is what the leaders were espousing, that this is what would having an East Africa. People will benefit as remove the boundaries, the physical boundaries that would stop the movement of factors of production in the region. That is labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So I come to the floor because today, 23 years ago, the East African community is not felt by the populations in East Africa. It has been expanded from those other countries. Rwanda was brought on board, Burundi was brought on board, Southern Sudan, and now we understand the DRC is coming in to be part of this African community. But if you moved around the population of East Africa, the people of East Africa do not feel the East African community. And the reason is the policies of the East African do not change the lives of our people. That's why my theme is about creating an East Africa that has opportunities for all. Like where the Americans are the land of opportunity. Because today I must tell you, if you have 7 countries, we would have a population of 300 million people with a huge, huge investment that would help us for the people, our people, to benefit. So in that way, as leaders, we must work towards making East Africa felt by our people, so that we do not fall in what fell during the reign of David Cameron in England, where there was a referendum asking the British, should we leave, should we stay? The Brexit. Because the British did not feel the benefits of East Africa, they voted against staying in the European Union. When you look at their leader, was for staying, because they had some benefits they had in their mind, but the people were not feeling them. So I have 5 issues that I want discussed. I am putting before you that I feel if these issues were brought out and I advocate for them and they are brought by other people, possibly our people would start feeling East Africa. My first point is I want to speak for climate change. Today, when you look at East Africa, all our countries talk about tourism, talk about our culture, talk about floods and the like. But when you look at what is happening in East Africa, we must really cry for ourselves. Forests have been cleared. In countries like Uganda, you see for sugarcane and the like, when forests are actually a source of medicine, a source of rain, they have habitats that are actually making money for us, like chimpanzees, that's where they sleep, lions and the like, when actually we now today, most of our countries are talking about tourism. When you look at how the pollution we are having, when you look at how many insects, pests that are now coming up, when you see the kind of drought that we are having, as you must be aware that the Sahara Desert is running to the south at 150 kilometers per year. Just the other day, the Egyptian government donated to the Bustema University solar energy worth about 5 megawatts. And they said that solar energy is equivalent to planting 2.8 million trees, or removing about 20,000 cars from the road for a year. So that tells you we must start thinking about renewable energy. We must start thinking about the wetlands. Because encroaching on one affects all of us. We must think about these kind of floods. When you look at the reason why you are having floods is the vegetation that has been cleared. So as a person, I want to make sure that I advocate that East Africa as a region, as a sub-region, as a community, we must protect our environment. So that when you kill Lake Victoria, we are killing all of us. When you kill forests, we are killing all of us. When you have floods, how it affects our economy affects the rest. So that is one my first point, but it's written in some literature. You'll be seeing it. I'll be even providing you with the literature. Point number 2, I want to advocate for a single currency. Today, as I told you, we have with DRC coming on board, we'll be having more than 300 million people, almost the size of the US. And we have 7 currencies. I want to give you this example. If a Kenyan moved from Nairobi with 1,000 shillings, Kenyan shillings, and comes to Uganda, if he changes the current exchange rate, he will get 34,000 Uganda shillings. Without using that money and goes back to change and get back his currency, he will get 901.10 shillings. So if he goes to Rwanda and they exchange that money, you'll find that when he's going back, he will go back with less than 850. If he goes to Burundi, Tanzania, Southern Sudan, and DRC, by the time that Kenyan goes back to Kenya, we will have about 100 shillings lost in exchange. So we can't do business when you have such many currencies. Today, if you went to Nairobi or Tanzania or Southern Sudan with your Uganda shillings, you might fail to have something to eat or where to sleep. I want to have a hard currency, because when you have that currency, it will become hard like the European Union. Any country that is dealing with the East African community will be interested in our shilling. So I want to implore all my other colleagues that we fast track making sure that the East African community, we have a single currency. Point number 3, I want to advocate for a trade tribunal. Today, when we have issues of trade disagreements between member states, they become bilateral issues. Like recently when you had Kenya banning our poultry products, milk, sugar, and the like. So you see the Ugandan Minister of East Africa, Honorable Kadaga, dealing with the Kenyan counterpart. And when they fail to hear proposals of having what we would call in economics beggar my neighbor policy, whereby if they ban, we also ban. You've seen issues with Southern Sudan, where our traders have lost business, and you find that it's the Ugandan government and must pay. You've had issues with Tanzania, where they ban our timber and all our products and rice and something of the sort. So, if we have, and then you find it's not a community issue. That's why I'm telling you the community has not failed. But when you have a trade tribunal, a full-fledged court, you go and take those cases and you have a judgment. That judgment is used to deal with disputes, the next dispute with another country and the rest, so that we have streamlined that kind of trade. That will help to bring trust in anybody investing in any of our countries, and even help trade to move smoothly. Then the 4th point I want to advocate for is the free movement of labor and capital. Today in East Africa, when Kenyans come and get jobs here, our banking sector has been overrun by Kenyans. All other people from East Africa come and enjoy Uganda. But we have seen Ugandans being chased away from Southern Sudan, from Rwanda, Tanzania, and Kenya. It becomes hard for Ugandans to work there. So in that sense, you can't say we are having a community whereby it becomes hard for Ugandans to work in such a community. We want to put up policies that let East Africa be a home for everybody who is in East Africa. If I want a job in Rwanda, Congo, Tanzania, Kenya, Southern Sudan, and Burundi, you can easily move as others move. You know, we had been put in a trap where Uganda was proposing the fast tracking of the political federation. But let's be realistic. That's not achievable. When you have feelings here, what is felt in Rwanda, in Tanzania, in Kenya, these guys are not ready to support a political federation. And currently, there is no community that has it. There is a community in Europe, in West Africa, in the southern. There is one in Asia, in South America, and the North American Treaty Organization. Those guys do not have a single president. So we must first shelve that, because we have lost a lot in trying to please our colleagues. For us, we give in a lot and we benefit less. So we must pause a little and have these benefits for our people, so that a Ugandan goes and works in Tanzania if he finds a job, and works in Kenya, he works in Burundi, and the like. My last point, I want to urge you to advocate for policies that protect trade across borders from political conflicts. Today, dear members of parliament, dear fellow leaders, today when there is a conflict, as you saw the one between Uganda and Rwanda, when you had that conflict, the border has been closed for 3 years. Many people have lost their livelihood, and they will never come back. People who had loans, people have sold all their properties, their kids cannot go back to school because of a political conflict. But all of you who have done O-level, you are aware that in O-level we used to study about the Trans-Sahara trade, the slave trade, those kind of trades. Then they were protected from interstate conflicts. If there was a war, you know, these are traders, they would be given passage. So this must be done in the same way, that leaders can have their issues, but when you have your issues, leave trade to prosper, so that the people are not affected by the conflict of our leaders. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am seeking for your vote. I want to be the vanguard, the flag bearer of Uganda, to go and speak for the people of Uganda, so that we create opportunities in East Africa for Ugandans, for the rest. My issues are not partisan. These are issues that are a cry for every Ugandan, for every leader, that we must aspire for. In the past, there has been this tendency of isolating us, the FDC, from this Eala, thinking that would be the noisemaker. Possibly, there is no tangible benefit. Wouldn't be spoilers. So if you give me the mantle to go and speak for our people, I'll make sure that I sell my agenda to other colleagues from other countries and see how we have an East Africa that benefits our people. So that if there is a referendum about East Africa, the people vote overwhelmingly to support the existence of the East African community. I want to say thank you. Asante sana. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ino, mwebale munonga, afoyo, Eala manoi, wanyara nabi, Uganda yetu, East Africa yetu. God bless you. When you get a chance, tell a friend to vote Kaija, Harold, as one of the MPs of East Africa, representing the opposition, but in this way would be representing the people of Uganda. Thank you so much. God bless you.